Greetings. So before I go on, if you hear any noises in the background, that's just my baby bunny hopping about and doing whatever she does. So there, you've been warned. So, did Muhammad exist? I shall share my own personal experience. For me, personally, it all started with the thought of Robert Spencer's book titled, Did Muhammad Exist? Now, I had become aware of this book just a little while before this happened. But when this happened, I remember that this was back in the Earth year of 2016. And I was just casually walking down the stairs in my house and it hit me. This thought of, did Muhammad exist? Like it just struck me, this thought just struck me like a ton of bricks. And then a barrage of other thoughts followed, and I was like, did Muhammad really exist or not? And if Muhammad did not exist, then how can the religion of Islam and Muslims exist? And then how can I be a Muslim? And if I am not a Muslim, then who am I? And that was the moment of the beginning of my spiritual awakening. And after that moment, my world began to shatter. The world of illusion, which is called the Maya, began to shatter. My illusions began to dissolve. My religious conditioning and programming since birth and since I was a child started going down the drain. I started having a complete and utter identity crisis. Why? Because I was born and bred in a Muslim family, in a Muslim country, in a Muslim culture. Actually, in hindsight, now that I think back, it seems I was slowly awakening a couple of years, even before 2016. That I was slowly awakening a couple of years before 2016 even, because I had started looking into the religion of Islam and Quran and Hadith or Hadith, and I had already started researching and reading about it and digging into it, something that I did not do before in my life until that point. And also, that is something that most Muslims don't do. Most Muslims don't look into their own religion and holy book, the Quran, and even the Hadith or Hadith. And the few who do are only familiar with the literal interpretation or only have a surface understanding of it, which is no understanding at all as far as I'm concerned. And that is not the kind of understanding that we need to have. So most Muslims are only familiar with the literal interpretation and only have a surface understanding of it and not the deeper layers of meaning to it all, and not have the understanding of the deeper layers of meaning to it all, or the history of it all, the historical context of it all. Most Muslims just sleepwalk through their lives like a religiously programmed robot. No offense intended. And I understand that state of being, as I myself was in that state of being, in that state of existence, where I myself was sleepwalking through life, being a religiously programmed robot and just being unconscious and being asleep. I mean, I was never a strict Muslim, but the religious conditioning and programming was still there, running like an undercurrent through my psyche, to whatever extent I was exposed to it since childhood. And so I myself was in that experience until I started having my spiritual awakening in 2016. And the Maya, this world of illusion, along with my illusionary identity of being a Muslim, started falling apart. Now, I am aware that there is material on the internet that says that these people did not exist, that Muhammad did not exist, or that Yeshua or Jesus or Isa did not exist. And it says that it's all about astrology and mythology. But now I am realizing that, or I am realizing that there are layers to these things. Is astrology one of those layers? Absolutely. Is mythology one of those layers? Absolutely. But that does not mean that these people or these souls did not exist, because they did, and that is just another layer. And at this point, I am aware that at least Muhammad and Yeshua, Jesus, or Isa did exist and walked the earth in human form. Now, how am I aware of this? Well, when my awakening began, I started asking questions. Not to anyone else, just within myself. And that's when the dreams started coming in. And then I started asking about Muhammad. And then I received a dream. I think this was in August 2018, last year. Again, I cannot help but make note of the fact that August is the month of Lionsgate portal, which is connected to the star system Sirius. Anyway, I received this dream one night in which I was shown a quick glimpse of a man's face with a beard. It was so quick that I could not describe any features, but it was an Arab or Middle Eastern looking man with a small beard. Now that was my sign, and that was my answer to the question that I was asking about whether Muhammad was real or not, whether Muhammad existed or not. Now, unfortunately, to my own detriment, at that time, I was doubting my intuition and my dreams, as it was still something very new to me, at least in this lifetime. So I wanted to confirm. I wanted to go outside of myself for a confirmation of this. And I did. I booked a session with a credible channel or channeler and asked my questions, because I was like, by then I was also receiving other signs, and I was also having a feeling that somehow there was a connection between me and Muhammad and his wife Maimuna. Anyway, so I have this channeling done, and to my complete and utter amazement and bewilderment, Yeshua or Jesus or Isa comes through for me in this channeling and confirms that yes, Muhammad was for real, that Muhammad did exist, and that I was around Muhammad and Maimuna in that lifetime. Or in other words, my soul was incarnated in human form in that lifetime as well. Now, this was happening last year in 2018. Then this year, in 2019, I received telepathic messages concerning Muhammad that I have already shared in my recent previous recordings here on my YouTube channel. So, why am I sharing this? Bottom line, why do we have to be such absolutists? Why do we have to put things into a box? A box of, oh, it is only astrology, or the box of, oh, it is only mythology, or it is only religion, or it is only this and it is only that, and completely rule out the probability or possibility of these souls existing and walking the earth. Now, we need to be careful about being absolutists like that. We need to not be absolutists about what existed and what did not exist, or who existed and who did not exist. We need to keep our minds wide open here, because if we don't, we are limiting ourselves. And a multidimensional universe is not limited. And a multidimensional human or a multidimensional you is not limited. So why put ourselves in a box of any one thing and keep ourselves limited? That is my question to you. Greetings.